In this primordial era, before the dawn of recorded history, the stage was set for humanity's grandest drama. Prehistoric Egypt, a land where early hunter-gatherer communities forged their existence along the fertile banks of the Nile, sowing the seeds of a civilization yet to bloom. These nomadic souls wandering the arid expanse, drawn like moths to the life-giving oasis of the Nile. Their lives intertwined with the ebb and flow of the river, as they hunted, gathered and laid the foundations of what would become one of the most storied civilizations in history. But amid the simplicity of survival, hints of greatness shimmered on the horizon. For in the crucible of necessity, innovation was born. Tools fashioned from stone, fire tamed for warmth and protection, and the first stirrings of agriculture took root in the fertile soil. In the year around 3100 BCE, a figure emerged from the swirling mists of history, a king whose name would echo through the ages like a clarion call to greatness. His name? Menes, also known as Nama. With unyielding determination coursing through his veins, Menes achieved what many deemed impossible: the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Picture the Nile as a witness to this monumental event, its waters shimmering with reflection as the two lands, once divided by ancient rivalries, fused into a singular entity under the scepter of a visionary ruler. But Menes's legacy transcended mere conquest. With the stroke of his quill, he inscribed the first strokes of hieroglyphic writing upon the canvas of time, birthing a language that would immortalize the stories, beliefs, and wisdom of his people for millennia to come. Yet, the canvas of history painted by Menes was not limited to words alone. With ambition as his chisel and granite as his medium, he sculpted the landscape of Egypt with monumental architecture that reached towards the heavens themselves. Pyramids, temples, and grandiose palaces rose from the earth like titans, monuments to the ingenuity and devotion of a civilization forging its identity amidst the sands of eternity. But perhaps Menes's greatest legacy lay in the birth of a centralized government, a system of governance that bound the sprawling lands of Egypt under the banner of unity and prosperity. Behold the Old Kingdom, a golden age where the dreams of pharaohs soared as high as the peaks of the pyramids they built. In the shadow of the year, around 2686 BCE, the sun kissed the horizon, as if to herald the birth of a new era. It was during this time that the Great Pyramids at Giza began to ascend towards the heavens, monuments to the ingenuity and ambition of a civilization reaching for immortality. Among these timeless marvels stood the Great Pyramid, a colossal edifice crafted from limestone and granite, a testament to the divine mandate of Pharaoh Khufu. Picture the labour of thousands toiling beneath the scorching sun, their sweat and toil mingling with the dust of history as they carved, stacked and shaped stone into a monument that would defy the ages. But the Old Kingdom was not merely a time of architectural splendour. It was an era where art, literature and culture flourished like the lotus in the Nile's embrace. Paintings adorned the walls of temples and tombs, capturing the beauty and mystique of the world around them. Hieroglyphs danced across papyrus scrolls, weaving tales of gods, heroes, and the triumphs of pharaohs. Yet, amidst the opulence of the pharaohs' courts and the grandeur of their monuments, a subtle shift in power was underway. While centralized rule remained the cornerstone of Egyptian governance, the power of provincial governors began to swell like the Nile in flood season. These regional rulers, appointed by the pharaohs, governed their territories with a degree of autonomy, enriching the tapestry of Egypt's political landscape. In the wake of the Old Kingdom's splendor, the sands of Egypt shifted, and with them, the balance of power. The centralized authority that had long been the bedrock of Egyptian governance began to falter, giving way to a landscape fractured by political fragmentation and social upheaval. Imagine, if you will, a land where the authority of the pharaohs waned, and regional rulers, known as nomarchs, seized upon the opportunity to assert their autonomy. These provincial governors, once appointed by the pharaohs, now wielded power with a degree of independence unseen since the dawn of civilization. As the grip of centralized authority weakened, Egypt found itself ensnared in a web of intrigue and conflict. Petty squabbles between nomarchs erupted into open rebellion, plunging the land into a state of perpetual turmoil. But amidst the chaos, the resilience of the Egyptian people shone like a beacon in the darkness. Communities banded together, forging alliances and fortifying their defences against the storm of uncertainty that swept across the land. Yet, despite their valiant efforts, the first intermediate period remained a time of profound instability, a crucible in which the fabric of Egyptian society was tested to its very limits. In the year around 2055 BCE, a figure emerged from the mists of history, a pharaoh whose name would echo through the ages like a clarion call to unity. Mentuhotep II, with the strength of his will and the might of his armies, reunited Egypt under a single banner, marking the dawn of a new era, the Middle Kingdom. Picture the banks of the Nile pulsating with life once more as the reunification of Egypt breathed new vitality into the land. From the delta in the north to the cataracts in the south, a sense of purpose and belonging swept across the kingdom like a gentle breeze. But Mentuhotep II's vision extended far beyond the borders of Egypt, with the Nile as their highway and the winds of destiny at their backs. Egyptian traders and explorers ventured forth into the distant lands of Nubia and the Levant, forging new alliances and opening lucrative trade routes that enriched the kingdom and expanded its influence. Yet, the Middle Kingdom was not merely a time of conquest and commerce. It was an era where the arts flourished and the intellect soared to new heights. Literature, poetry, and philosophy blossomed like the lotus in the Nile's embrace, capturing the essence of the human experience in vibrant hues of expression. Amidst this cultural renaissance, a profound shift in religious beliefs took root, centered around the myth of Osiris, the god of the afterlife and resurrection. As the Egyptian people grappled with the mysteries of existence, Osiris emerged as a beacon of hope, promising eternal life beyond the veil of death. And here ends part 1 of the fascinating history of Egypt. Stay tuned for part 2 in our next upload.